Good afternoon, friends. Welcome to my Let's Talk Expedition Africa talk show. Today I've got a very special friend, a long-time friend. We've just chatted and we figured it out. It's 15 years already. I think we're giving our age away here, but I'm talking today with a very famous, in my mind, famous Donovan Sims. Hi Donovan, how are you?
Hey, Heidi, how's it going?
Good, and you? Are you surviving with lockdown?
Yeah, no, it hasn't been too bad. Fortunately, we're on the farm here, so we can move around a bit. We're not stuck indoors.
Yeah, lucky you, Don. Friends, for those of you who don't know Donovan, let me introduce you to this most special person in the world. We've met many years ago when we started racing together. Donovan is very well known for many reasons. He also, after a few years, he dumped us. We weren't good enough, so we started racing with Team Merrill. At that stage, they're still the top team in South Africa, and he's raced several races overseas, and he's got a very good story and long story and great memories to share with us today about adventure racing and as well Expedition Africa. He is also one of the 4 original guys who will next year at Lesotho have their 10th Expedition Africa. How's that, Don?
Very excited for that tonight. That's going to be a big one.
Wow, that's quite a story that we sort of survived for 10 years. But Don, while we're at it, please tell our friends your journey of adventure racing.
Well, I basically started, my first race was 2004, where basically we got a hectic team of guys together in East London, started racing, got lost for a year, running around the country, but loved every minute of it. And then my first expedition race was Bull of Africa in 2005 with you and Stefan. That's our first race together.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was a very, very special race for me. I think everyone's first expedition race is always a big one on their calendar. Mm. And I remember Garth and I, the first time we ever met you guys face to face was at the start of the race, 2 days before the race started. So we heard the stories about Stefan and Heidi Miller, and we were nervous to meet you guys at the start. And of course, there we were. And man, when we crossed that finish line there in the Richtersveld, it was one of the most special moments for me. It was for Garth and myself, and we've never looked back. I remember that race. Stefan, we've heard all the rumors about Stefan Miller, this big scary guy, married to a super hot supermodel chick. And I think it was on like day 3 or day 4. We had to sleep next to the river. If you remember, we didn't make the cutoff on the paddle. Yeah. And we pitched that tent next to it. It was freezing cold. And Stefan said the next morning we had to spend the lockdown, or the night lockdown. We had to spend the night there because we didn't make the dark zone. And I remember Stefan moaning at Garth and I because we didn't spoon his wife and keep her warm that night. We were no one going to be spooning Heidi Miller with Stefan sleeping in the tent there. So yeah, as big and scary as Stefan was, I mean, it was 5 years of racing, right? We raced 5 years together before you decided to have babies, eh?
Wonderful. Wow, best memories. I've got so many stories to tell and so many nights of spooning other men, Oh yeah, Don, wonderful. And Don, tell us, after that 5 years, incredible memories, then when you ditched us, when I wanted babies to join the elite team, that was also another how many years of incredible memories.
That was in 2010. My first race with the Merrill Adventure Addicts was the World Champs in Spain. And that started an absolute whirlwind roller coaster of absolutely phenomenal memories, races around the world, meeting amazing people. And yeah, the Merrill Addicts, some of my best racing years, some of the best memories was with those guys. And then, there's so many memories. I mean, people ask highs and lows. Every single race, as much as you struggle in that race, you might think this is the hardest thing I've ever done. 2 weeks later after the race, those low points are all your high points. That's what brings you back, the hardships and the struggling and working together. But yeah, so my first 5 years of racing was an absolute blast with you guys and that. And the last 10 years with the Addicts has been amazing. And then in 2017, I started doing the mentoring, and that was a whole new side of it. So no more hard and fast racing. And my first mentor team, I had my little brother in the team with me, and that was absolutely phenomenal. My next year of mentoring, I had my wife in the team with me, and that was special. And then at Rodriguez this year, I had my wife and a very good friend of mine. My first adventure race, Roland Pierce, he got me into the racing right at the beginning. I had him in the team with me, and of course David Palmer from Merrill, the main man of Merrill itself in South Africa. And I was able to take my sponsor through and show him what he's been paying for all this time. And that was a really, really special. And not just the team, but the race course itself, the event itself. You guys did an amazing job there.
Oh, that was so special. Donovan, really for the mentoring, there's a special thing, to take people and see those normal people, like you say, your brother, Athena, your wife. Athena supported us all the years when we were racing, and so she was the supporter on the other side, and I can remember just making us wonderful sandwiches and food and be at every transition. And Athena, we love you for all those years of supporting. And then moving over to the other side by racing. I mean, we even had a little race together, the Transkei Tough, the two of you and Athena and myself, which was absolutely wonderful. And that must be very special to your heart to see like normal people can actually do an expedition race.
I think if you remember in 2017 in Cape St. Francis, when we crossed the finish line, my first mentor team. So it was my little brother Troy, Dean Finley, and Michelle Powell. That was the most emotional finish. I mean, I'm getting quite, I'm thinking about it right now. I don't think anyone at the finish line, people I didn't even know, teams that had finished 2 days before us, like these international guys, even Stefan Miller had tears in his eyes. Everyone was crying. But I think that's the big thing with the mentor team. It's just, you've seen normal people that are very, very nervous, not sure if they actually can do what they're setting out to do, but taking the chance and putting their absolute faith in you as their mentor. And then for me to be able to get those guys across the finish line, it was, there's no words. You can't explain. We've won a couple of your expedition races, which are phenomenal. And the highlight for me was my winning race was Swaziland. With you and I and Stefan and Garth racing Swazi all the years, that is always the race I always wanted to win. And of course, after my illness, coming back 6 months after that and winning Swaziland, that was a highlight. But that 2017 finish with my first mentor team was right up there with it, man.
Oh, Don, you do so amazing work. I think the message must be to other people that there are people outside there who's got the experience and can take them into these incredible races and places, and to show them mentally that if you set your mind to something that you can do it. We all think we can't do these big ones, but we actually have the ability within ourselves to do it. Don, please share with us, you've just mentioned there slightly, you've picked up about, your illness. Share with us that very big part of your life, and how did you get through that?
Yeah, we were preparing for World Champs, Costa Rica, with the Merrill Addicts, and 2.5 weeks before we were supposed to go, I went past the doctor for a checkup. I always do it, always have done it, all the big races. And she did everything normal, pulled blood as she always did. And yeah, there was, the results came back in the blood, that they found leukemia, cancer. And I was on the top of my game. Who would think that anyone that was healthy and as fit could be sick? I didn't know it. Fortunately for me, they picked it up really, really early. It was by a real freak chance that they found it early, luckily for me. And so we just went through the whole journey. I mean, I thought that was my racing done. And, with the right, I had the right backing. I had my wife backing me. She wasn't gonna back down from that fight. No chance.
John.
And Yeah, so it was just a proper journey. I had a good team of team behind me, a support crew. I had good doctors with me. And we went through the chemo. I had chemo in 2014, October 2014. And came back from that. And 2015, May, winning Expedition Africa in Swaziland with a sprint finish to the finish against the Estonians was, there's no words.
Ah, Don, you make me emotional chatting with you. But listen, on that note, before I'm having more cheers this side, Tony, we love you. It's been
You too, bro.
incredible years together. And it's an honor for us to have you part of Expedition Africa. And if God willing, we all can make it through and we'll see each other next year in Lesotho. It will be big tears, definitely from my side, to see you
From
guys
everyone.
get over that finishing line for your 10th edition for Expedition Africa. So keep up the training, keep up the training and all the good work, and send love to everybody. And thank you for sharing our love for Expedition Africa and motivating other people to do what we so much love.
Thanks, Heidi. Take it easy, go.
Keep well.
Cheers.
Bye. God bless.
Bye.